Digital IDs make me feel a little outlaw-y, if you know what I mean. Well, if you don't know what I mean, we're about to talk about it. Let's dive into the wonderful, horrible, just unimaginably dark world of digital IDs and how they're coming to a store near you. Hi everyone, Morgan here. Imagine this. One day you wake up and you can't access your money or your food or gas, or you can't even go to the store, any store, without first scanning that digital ID. Well, I wish I were talking about the plot of a sci-fi movie, but in fact, this is really happening, really happening, like right now. And it could come to our doorstep literally any minute. I don't put anything past anybody to make this a option. It's currently being tested all around the world as we speak. This is not just a way for government to ensure that, the voters are actually legit people. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. A digital ID is a control factor. Plain and simple. Access is being restricted to you because of behavior, compliance, your social or credit score. I don't know. It could literally spiral into anything they wanted. Listen, I want you to turn your fear into action. If this is scaring you, kind of like how it's scaring me, my husband and I had this whole discussion. If this were to happen, how could we go completely off the grid? And we had a very interesting conversation. I don't think I'm able to talk about it here because my channel might go bye-bye and you guys may never hear from me again or something. I don't know. As this is becoming a real threat, I want to talk about how we can be prepared for it. These are practical steps, and I have a checklist down below that you can download for free. And be sure to check out my other downloads. I have a lot of great stuff on there for you to download from past videos and just for general preparedness purposes. So head to my website and download all the good stuff. And I also have 3 books out with many more coming. So head on over to Amazon and search for Morgan Rogue to search for my books. Just search for it, search. Before they use your digital ID to prevent you from searching my name or something. How am I going to get my protein drink with a digital ID? They're going to say I'm buff enough, right? I don't need any protein. Cut it out. This is a serious video. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we want to look towards more pro-freedom and self-reliance. Okay, that's my goal for you guys in general. So, and this especially applies for digital ID preparedness. Okay, so diversify your assets, have cash. We just went to a pumpkin picking farm, it was apple picking and pumpkin patch and all that, and they didn't take cash anymore. There's a lot of people these days that will flat out do not take cash. Cash is money. They are refusing to take money. They're only doing the card. Imagine how easy it's going to be to transition into, do you have your digital ID? We want tangible items, physical items. Gold, that's a physical asset. Any precious metals. I know gold is very expensive. I don't know why I started with gold. I don't even own gold. That's that's rich people, precious metals. But any precious metals, tools and food and water, barterable items, because in this case, your local community is going to be where it's at. I went online recently and I found a place that I can get local eggs. I found a place that I can get local, like a CSA, where you can get like local produce, things that I may not be able to grow in bulk, local seeds so that I can grow food. And I have like a little plot of growing food. I found local honey. I found people that were, selling animals, I found local meat suppliers. I found local everything. Now, I'm looking for super small farms. I'm not looking for big conglomerates, but I'm looking for the local aspect of it, whether it's your neighbors or whether it's that local farm that's, 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes out of town or whatever the case may be, right? Or it's just like an urban farm where somebody, maybe sells an excess of honey in their urban backyard and sells it, something like that. I met a really cool guy like that at a farmer's market. He's like, I just have a bunch of beehives in my backyard and I just come to these, and he only took cash, which was unfortunate because I didn't have any cash on me. Listen, I used to be super against crypto. Bitcoin, when it first came out, I'm like, that's stupid. Crypto. How am I supposed to spend that money? Cash, okay? I can't spend imaginary crypto money. Well, if you think about it, cash is a little imaginary too. Swiping that plastic is a little bit imaginary too, even though you have it in the bank. It's a little imaginary, right? And so I've kind of come around to the side of crypto a little bit. And I'm seeing signs like this in which they have like Bitcoin ATMs and stuff a little more often. So it's coming around, I think, a little bit after however long it's been out, a long time now. So I think it's definitely something to look into. I know absolutely nothing about crypto. I just think it's a super interesting thought, especially when it comes to digital ID. Get offline capable. That means printing everything, printing your finances, your contacts, have physical maps, have your physical, medical information, print recipes, print how-to guides, get books, physical books. Digital books are good if you download them and then put them onto some sort of tablet or something that is accessible 100% offline, so yeah, digital books are okay, of course we're not talking about an EMP at this point, but you can have it in a Faraday cage. I just always have to say that because people are like, oh sure, you have that digital, but what about a Faraday and EMP? Okay. So yeah, store offline backups for literally everything, okay, and have physical copies. Did you know that if you download a piece of music online, you don't own that? If you buy a digital movie, you don't own that. They can literally take that from you at any time. Okay. So get the physical copies, DVDs, CDs, even, burn music onto DVDs, get these physical assets. Get analog as much as you can. And I find this very ironic that I am talking on YouTube and internet, very digital space. Okay. But use non-digital tools like radios and have your printed documents and, physical IDs, not the digital IDs. Oh my gosh. The other day I went to Whole Foods and it wanted I don't know if you guys have heard about those implants that Amazon wants to do where you can just scan your hand and it'll charge or whatever. That blows my mind, man. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of stuff. That's crazy sci-fi stuff. I will never be down with that. No, you're not going to insert anything into me. Okay. I will literally run off into the woods before that happens. Learn to live without a smartphone. I can't do it. No, can't do that. I guess I'll just get the digital ID. It's really hard, I've heard of this movement of people that are going to Nokia phones and the flip phones and stuff like that. And I admire them. I do. I admire them, but we'll see. It may come to that. But I admire them right now from a distance. So yeah, like I was telling you earlier, the next stage would be to learn to barter with your community systems and your alternative systems. And so, your electricity that is controlled by the electric company, the water that is controlled by the water company. I heard of this case where this guy was building this property and he had all the permits and everything, but I guess there was something off about one of the permits or something, and they were like, we're going to shut off your electricity until you can get it fixed. And they did. They shut off his electricity until they got this fixed. And he was just like, I'm never going to get this fixed. I'm going to go completely off grid. You can go to where, okay? And it was this whole thing. And I have followed him on Instagram, but I haven't heard from him in a while. I should check up on him. So this is already happening. If you let somebody else control your electricity, control your food, control your health, control everything about your life, they can take it away, or they can continue to control you in more nefarious ways. So secure your digital footprint. I think this is really challenging for me. Practicing OPSEC online. It's, I run a really very a balance. It's a teetering balance of I'm trying to protect my privacy and my security, but I also want people to be prepared. And so here I am, my digital footprint is massive. So that's hard. But use privacy tools. That's a really good one. VPNs, encrypted messages, minimal social media footprint. I'm laughing at that loud because I got a big social media footprint. But like it's hard in this digital age to have that minimal digital footprint. But if you can, more power to you. I don't know why you'd be watching this video if you want to, if you have a minimal footprint. You wouldn't be watching YouTube, I don't think. But, something like the mesh network, in which it's a secure, texting platform, is something to look into. It's not something like ham radio where anybody can listen to these frequencies. It's the mesh network where you can text each other just with a few nodes and stuff like that. So anyway, it's just something. But be more self-reliant. That's kind of the overall goal. Grow your own food. Store water, get to know your community so that you can barter and trade and find those local sources, especially those local sources that may not care about that digital ID. You know what I mean? And then create that independence as much as you possibly can, because the less independent you are from the system, the less leverage it has over you. You have a way to heat your home without electricity. You have a way to cool your home without electricity, or you have solar, that is yours, not, connected to the city power or whatever. You have systems in place. You are creating your own medicine. You are doing these things that, you're foraging and you're hunting and you're fishing and you're trying to live a more self-sufficient life. And people always laugh when it comes to this kind of stuff, but it's real. You can do this. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time. But some of these things, it's a rolling effect. It's a step-by-step process. It is not going to happen overnight. It is not going to, just like tomorrow we're going to wake up with digital ID. Boy, somebody's going to quote that and be like, she said that tomorrow I wasn't going to wake up with digital ID, and here we are. I could always be wrong. That's why I want you guys to be as prepared as possible and just take that step-by-step and download my checklist so that you can take that step-by-step action and get prepared today. It's pretty crazy. We can't control if digital IDs become mandatory. That is literally out of our control. We may be able to vote for it, but I seriously doubt it. I just feel like something like that would just come down like a hammer. And I just do. But we can control how prepared we are and how we want to live without, certain things. Like if we need a digital ID to go to the grocery store, well, you're going to have to get your food from other sources. And hopefully you have a really nice stockpile of food and water and got some friends in the community of farms and urban farmers and things like that. And you're growing your own food indoors or outdoors or whatever, right? Preparedness isn't just about food and gear anymore. It's about independence and privacy and resilience in a very controlling world. Okay, so like I've said before, control what you can control, and that's all we can really do. If you want to live more independently and less concerned about the systems controlling us, start with small steps today and build your network and reduce the digital footprint if you can, right? I know it's very challenging, very ironic that I'm saying this, but be ready to live as free as possible, Enjoy the internet and the digital life as long as you can, but be prepared to run off into the woods and build your own cabin, okay? Okay, that's all I'm saying. Legally, of course. Legally. Download that checklist. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments how you might be prepared for something like this. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.